It's week one of the high school football season, and it takes us back to Durfee High School for the Hilltoppers as they square off against the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. Evan Massoud joined by BJ McDonald. Great to be back at Durfee for our first time here in fall 2022. It'll be the last time there was football here at the high school level. It was Thanksgiving, and the Hilltoppers made it 2 in a row against their arch rivals, the Whalers. But that team looks quite a bit different from this team. A lot of graduates in the spring, a lot of key guys, offensively especially, and defensively. But a lot of the offense went to the next step in their lives.
Yeah, I mean, high school football, it's a new year, new team. I think probably you talk about the offense. You've got Isaiah, who was the quarterback for 4 years. So, I mean, he's probably one of the only guys that started 4 Thanksgiving Day games. You know, you lose him under center. You lose a few guys outside, all moved on to go play in college. But now it's time for some new blood and new guys and fresh energy. I think the excitement has been up from what I've been told, and guys are excited to have the opportunity to play. And there's nothing better than Friday Night Lights.
I mean, you've been through those changeovers as a player and a coach. When I saw Coach Brown this week at Durfee, he had an optimism that, honestly, I feel like I haven't seen in a while. Maybe it is that excitement knowing that no matter what, it's a new page.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. You have a competition. I mean, there's been 2 guys all summer competing to play quarterback, KJ and Eli Chase there, and they've been going back and forth. I saw the scrimmage last week, you know, one series, one guy, and they can do different things. So I think having that ability to just get your best 11 players on the field, not knowing who's going to end up where, but just going out and competing, I mean, it's definitely exciting.
Last year's opening night matchup was in Attleboro. It was a 10-7 victory for the Blue Bombardiers, who won it on a field goal at the end of regulation. So not the offensive game that I expected from that one. We'll see what tonight brings. B and I are going down, put the headsets on. We'll have live football week 1 next on Fred TV.
Hi, my name is Laura Ferreira. I am the Director of Traffic and Parking for the City of Fall River. As the school year begins, we want to remind everyone of the school zone safety laws. Crosswalks are here for a reason, your safety. Please use them. Always wait for a crossing guard to stop traffic and escort you safely. Drivers, please use caution when entering a school zone. 20-mile-per-hour speed limits are strictly enforced as mandated by state law. By being respectful and patient with one another, we can all arrive at our destination on time and in one piece. Thank you for your attention. If you have concerns or questions, please contact my office at 508-324-2123. Let's have a wonderful school year.
Welcome back to Mac Aldridge Field for week 1 of the high school football season. The Attleboro Blue Bombardiers and the Durfee Hilltoppers squaring off on opening night for the 2nd consecutive season. As the Durfee NJROTC retires the colors, we'll get ready for the toss. Evan Massoud and BJ McDonald with you here live on Fred TV. Busy first week, B. We had boys soccer last night, Durfee at Diamond, a nice inter-city rivalry game, and the Hilltoppers took that one 3-0. The game was scoreless till the final 15 minutes of the game before Durfee finally scored a couple goals, or should I say before anybody broke the ice. It was a really good game. Now tonight, football here, Durfee and Attleboro. Tomorrow we'll be live as well for the Troy City Titans' final game of their season for summer football. So
give a shout out to the girls soccer team. They played and won yesterday
yes.
as well.
Girls soccer won.
Diamond.
That's right. Girls soccer won, and additionally, field hockey won. They beat Old Rochester. They have a very good program. So it was a good day yesterday for a bunch of the teams rather. Excuse me. So nice way to start it out.
And there's nothing better than Friday Night Lights, right?
That's right. The Hilltoppers sporting new uniforms this year, going with the red shorts and black jerseys with the red numbers, kind of a reversal of what it was the last couple seasons. And they have white jerseys for the road games. I like the red pants. You don't see the red shorts. You don't see that a lot.
These are like the throwbacks. 20 years ago, this is the way it used to be.
Right.
I think it was around my year, the mid 2000s, where they switched and went to black pants with red tops.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like it. I like the red. And I like the FR on the back. They're nice. And these numbers are much easier to see as the guys in the booth, right? It's like those other ones were tough.
One of the worst ones is when you were still coaching, and they did look good on the field, but the all black and the numbers were this gradient from like red to black. It was horrendous trying to do a game. I'll tell you, I kid you not. I actually thought, I said, geez, are my eyes like starting to go? Then I go do a game at Diamond, and I'm twice as far, and I can read everything just fine. I said, it's clearly not me.
I brought my glasses, but I don't know. I might not even need them with the new numbers.
Right. Well, both
What's
teams,
the mascot's name?
That is a good question.
I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, they don't bring it out too often. I'm glad that they did. We have a really nice crowd here tonight for opening night. The weather is fantastic for, as you'd expect, 73 degrees here at game time. And because tomorrow's going to be actually quite a bit warmer than probably should be this time of year.
No, it's a great night. You could tell the place is buzzing. I mean, we were here, an hour or so before the kickoff, and the band was practicing. All the fans were here, the kids from the school. It's been great. It's great to see the band out here playing the fight songs and the national anthem. And let's go get a W.
Yeah, we'll see. This is our first look at Durfee here, the new look Durfee. And, B, you were telling me that you went down, you spoke with Coach, and it looks like they are going to kind of do a tandem QB situation for Durfee here between Keith Strong, KJ, and Eli Chase, who have really been competing, you said, all summer. You said that in the open, and apparently that's what the game plan is going to be tonight. It's going to kind of be a two-man spot.
Yeah, I think, which is cool, right? You ride the hot hand, whoever is playing a little bit better. They just had the captains out there, and it's interesting that Eli Chase, the junior, he was out there as a captain with Jaden Hewitt, Lensley, Celestin, and Nicholas Wood. So you know that Chase is going to be on the field one way or the other, and I think KJ got some time last year as a sophomore, so he's going to be in the mix. But whoever's under center, I don't think it matters.
The bottom line here is, and I think we say this every game, but especially now, this is a very different-looking team. Don't beat yourselves, right? How many times did we see, particularly in games that you've joined me for, we've seen games that they were in it, and then at the last second, right, something goes wrong, some bad penalty or, a turnover or just a mental mistake, and it did them in a game that they probably should have won. So, to me, I look at it and say, don't beat yourselves. Just,
they
break it down into quarters little by little, and sooner or later you're going to win the game.
No, there was a nice preview on them in the Herald News. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I mean, they went 2-8 last year, but there were 4 games they lost by a touchdown or less, including the opener at Attleboro, including a game that we did here on the craziest ending I've ever seen against Needham.
Right?
So, I mean, those are winnable games, and, you're right in them, and that's all you can ask for.
It's I mentioned it yesterday in the opening, and I had alluded to it on Facebook too. This is my 10th opening day, my 10th start to a school year. And in those 10 years, at some point, the scale's got to tip to, the unluckiness, right?
It's been 100 years of it.
But, sooner or later, it's got to go in your favor, and you got to get lucky once in a while. It was a nice way to go out, having the team really pull out a great win against New Bedford on Thanksgiving, making it 2 in a row last year, because, it was big to win big in the COVID season, right? The delayed football season that was in the spring of 2021, and that was on the road. But then to come back 6 months later and play that same game and play it here in front of the home crowd with that group of guys. That was special to see the win here. It had been quite a while since there was a win here on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's here or wherever, there's nothing like playing on Thanksgiving morning. I mean, we talk about Friday nights being great, and this is an unbelievable atmosphere for the opener.
Yeah.
But there's certainly something special about winning on Thanksgiving.
First yellow flag of the season. It is penalty on the offense, and that will back them up. After the completed pass, the hold will go against the Blue Bombardiers.
Durfee bailed out a little bit there as a nice gain on first down, but now second and back to where they started.
The holding is a spot foul here. 12-minute quarters. You wouldn't think it. The 12th minute adds so much more time to the game compared to seriously. Running play here on second down. Lots of space. And putting his head down. That looked like Eric Lucas, who really stopped that run because there was a lot of green in front of the Blue Bombardiers running back. It's good for a first down.
Attleboro's big up front. I mean,
Oh,
they've
yeah.
got some big boys up there, and have to close that down.
Yeah, their linesmen, looking at the defense here, offensive and defensive
go.
line on their roster, you're absolutely right. The size is there, no doubt about it.
Well, that's one of the difficult things, right? Whether high school, college, NFL, I mean, week one, you got nothing on tape.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going up against. You know, maybe you have a scrimmage, or maybe you've seen them a little bit. You can kind of maybe guess on who's coming back, but you just don't know until you get going. And it won't be long. The Hilltoppers will figure it out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we did opening night a couple years ago, the Somerset game. They went to, what was it, triple overtime? That was ridiculous. Pass completed, still on his feet, and here we go. First score of the season, and Attleboro's Adrian Rivera with the catch and run, and that quiets the crowd early here at Durfee, 6-0 Attleboro.
They were in position, a couple guys on the outside to make the tackle after, downfield, but that kid runs hard. Tough to bring down.
So the Blue Bombardiers will start the season ahead. The Hilltoppers will have to play from behind here.
Got a tackle.
Yeah. It's interesting they went to this side.
And here's one of the things that you can't practice and you can't teach in the preseason, right? You don't know. You've never seen it. Swinging gate.
Yeah,
you
this
haven't.
is.
It's not something that you've seen.
And that's going to be a timeout.
So instead of giving up the 2 points, you call the timeout and try to make the adjustment. But that's something that in week one catches you off guard. If you play them in week two, you've seen it. You practice it all week. Don't let it beat you. But when it's week one, it's the first season for head coach Jim Winters in Attleboro.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something you've seen. So you burn a timeout 2 minutes into the game and down 6-0 to try to stop the swinging gate. And
Right. Well, looking at the coaching staff for Durfee, Tim Griffin back as an assistant coach after a few years.
always good to keep the former Hilltoppers in the mix. And Griff's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to have him aboard. I think he's glad to be back. I was talking to him the other day. He seems to be excited to be back, and it's great.
So a quick timeout there for the Hilltoppers. As the Blue Bombardiers go for two here.
They might not. If Durfee matches up appropriately, they got to go with them.
Passing to the corner, open man, and he is inbounds. That is caught. That's number 22, Ethan Lako.
He was there.
Lako, excuse me.
Again, no, we just said it. It's one of those things you haven't practiced, you haven't seen it. It's a funky formation. It's probably something Attleboro worked on all summer, and they catch you off guard right off the bat. But I'm sure Durfee's got a trick or two up their sleeve too.
Oh, yeah. You know, Taylor always comes prepared. There's no doubt about that.
And I think that's one of the things, too, going into the first game that so difficult to do, right? You can't prepare week 1 the way you can week 2 and week 3, and by the time you're playing New Bedford on Thanksgiving, you've got 6 or 7 tapes. You've seen every play that they've run.
Right.
And in week 1, you don't have that luxury.
You don't. And, you know, traditionally, Durfee has not done well earlier in the season. They are a team that tends to do better as the year goes on. And
I think that's a credit to the coaching staff, right?
Of
You get a
course.
lot of guys that maybe haven't played football before or haven't played, obviously, at this level. You have a lot of young guys in there this year. We talked about it in the opener. There are a lot of seniors that are now playing college football, you know, and have moved on. So that's all you can ask for is as the year goes on, your football awareness goes up. You know, your antenna goes up with different things that may or may not look different, and you get better.
You know, I think with football being such a complicated game, so many rules, right? So many facets to it. I almost feel like they should be extending out into August at least an extra week for coaches and the players to prepare. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from other sports. I'm sure all the coaches would love to probably have the entire month of August to prepare for the fall after the kids have done little to nothing over the summer. But football in particular, it really can be a different animal. And I think that if you had teams that were able to prepare an extra week in advance, you know, you might see better competition in September.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, football is such a technical. Wow, what is going on now? They break the huddle with 12.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, little mental errors, right? To starting things off. It's opening night.
And it looks like the first series, KJ is going to be under center.
Yep, that's number 2. KJ Strong, the QB here for the Durfee Hilltoppers' first drive as we see the offense. That was a 5-yard penalty, so 1st and 15 to get it started. They'll hand it off.
Double tight, one wide out. Going to try to come right at him. Probably not a bad strategy, right? Try to run that clock a little bit, get a couple first downs. I didn't get much there, though.
No, it looks like only about maybe 2 yards.
Looks like they're sticking same formation. Two tight ends, I formation.
2nd and 13. Oh, wrapped up close to the line. The line there for Attleboro, that was Joe Hill Altiano, number 65. Oh, excuse me, Jaden Tetrault. Jaden Tetrault, the senior linebacker. There are 2 65s here. Oh, yeah, B, the one that you circled. There you go. So
I tried to help you out a little bit.
Yeah, and I blew right by it. Yeah, good job there by Tetrault, wrapping him up. Now bring up 3rd and long.
He's a big kid, 6'3", 185 on the nose.
Strong dropping back, pressure coming, rolling way back, going to hurl it up. This is going to go out of play. That's it. You know, if you're going to throw it and hurl it that way, at least make sure it gets out of bounds.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess that's better than a sack, and pretty good defense on the first drive here from Attleboro with the help of a 5-yard penalty. I mean, it never helps when you have to start 1st and 15.
So Durfee, a 3 and out on offense. We'll have to punt it away. Good punt. I'll land right at the 50, take a good bounce.
All right, make a tackle.
You can't let him get by you. Hard hit, goes out of bounds just across midfield.
Like a good hit there. Lucas Kudo, number 11, downfield. But the Bombardiers start in Hilltopper territory.
Mm-hmm. So 1st and 10 from the 48.
Oh, guys are moving early.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hurling it down the field.
Pick it off.
Oh, what a grab. What a grab in the air.
That was
Anthony
number 4.
Salviati, one of the captains, picked it out of the air.
Looked like he just kind of threw it up for grabs, and went up and got it.
Yeah. And luckily the receiver was there. The Hilltoppers, I mean, they got down the field. They had it covered. Just freed himself up. They'll hand it off now. 1st down towards the end zone.
These kids run hard. Is that the same kid? Was that 7 again?
I think so. Down inside the 5. Ball's at the 4-yard line. Second down and 4. So the goal line is the line to gain. Essentially here, 2nd and goal.
There you go.
Wrapped him up. That should be a loss of at least a yard or 2. Yeah, 2 yards or so.
It's a big play, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 or so.
Yeah, 3rd and
4,
yeah, he lost 2 yards on that. I mean, it's hard to see the lines, but
but non-existent.
you know, I was looking at I was looking something up to or the maps on Google to, because you know the parking. You know, now we have some additional parking here on campus with, you know, on the south end here, not for games but
Oh,
for
don't let
school.
him get outside.
Passing towards the end zone, and it is caught.
It's a great job by the quarterback.
Yeah, scrambling.
He got around the outside there and outside the defensive end and bought himself a little bit of time and found an open. It's tough to cover guys for that long.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what happens is that when you start scrambling, obviously, you start scrambling out, and it kind of becomes like a broken play.
Feels like we might be a little overmatched here tonight.
So 14-0. They will go for the kick. And into the shadows it goes. Kick is up and good. And it's 15-0.
Extra point by Salguero is good.
We're talking about the field here. I was pinging for one of the games, just kind of showing where to park, right? So I went on Google Maps, kind of screenshot it, put the ping. You can't even see like the lines from the satellite imagery of the field. It's like they're that bad.
Well, you
Right,
can't
you
see
know?
it from here, and we're a heck of a lot closer than the satellite.
I know, but I think, you know, maybe I'm thinking if you're looking straight down, maybe it's a little better than. I mean, really, it's rough.
Well, they are supposed to redo them, right?
They are,
And,
yes.
and hopefully when they redo them, too, they can paint the end zones and put a logo. Maybe, I don't know if that's an extra couple $100 or whatever that costs to paint it. But hopefully it, spruce it up a little bit, make it look nice. And
I know.
I mean, this one's at the end of its shelf life. It's been 15
It's actually
years.
past it. It's past
Yeah.
it. Yeah, absolutely. And that, you know, and they both, you know, our athletic director, Brad Busson, said that they did test both fields. Both fields passed the test. But, I mean,
Which
you
is
know.
good because we wouldn't be here if they didn't.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, you know,
but
it needs to be replaced.
yeah.
That's the bottom line. So, you know, anybody who saw my summer reports, we did talk to Brad about, you know, the new construction that's off in the distance where the old school was, and that's a good
Hold that
run
ball.
back.
There you go.
Down to the 35.
Let's get a little momentum here
There you
now.
go.
Get excited.
The tennis courts are just about done. The softball field is supposed to be done for the spring, so that's where the old school was, the new area. And then the baseball field, the bids came in August, so it was supposed to start in August, so the bids came August. So I'm told that the baseball field is going to, construction is going to begin in October. And then part of that package, that bid package, that job was also the practice turf behind us, which will happen hopefully in the spring. So that's the latest update.
What about the game field?
This one, believe it or not, the stadium here is actually in better shape than the back turf. So they're going to do the back one first, then they'll address this.
Oh, you go. Oh,
Hurling it up.
that's a flag. He's holding him.
Just a little bit. Give him a hug.
There you go, a little
Seriously.
momentum. He had him beat by a step, too.
He did. So pass interference.
Strong's pass intended for Hout was incomplete. There was a flag on the play.
That'll move the chains and the ball up the field just a bit.
It's not a spot foul, right? 15 yards, I think. Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Get the ball at midfield.
Yeah. So that pushes them up.
So the first possession, Durfee was double tight, under center. This possession spread him out, out of shotgun. There you go.
Yeah, that's good for about 5-6 yards.
Strong with the keeper. Brought down by number 56, Isaiah Miranda. Gain of 6 on the play. 2nd and 4.
Put a little something together. A couple drives, a couple first downs. Keep that clock going. Get a little momentum.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to like give up the ball. Obviously, down now 2 scores. You want to answer here, and to your point, get a little bit of a rhythm. That'll be good for a first down and quite a bit more. No, just about. They faked the handoff, still piling it up. They'll stand them up just a little bit. I bought it. I thought they handed it off. Good sell there.
I think that's a little inside veer. I think he's reading the nose tackle. I think. It happened quick. I couldn't tell, but good read.
So big spot here, 3rd and 1.
Don't go negative because you got 2 chances from here.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
Well, guess what? They got
got
it.
it.
That'll move the
I think
chains.
that was the same play.
Yeah.
Strong the ball carrier. He has enough for a Hilltoppers.
So the Hilltoppers move the chains that time. Good old-fashioned running play.
3 yards in a cloud of dust, they used to say.
So from the 40, a fresh set of downs for Durfee. As they look to answer here, already well past the halfway mark of the first. Hop, skip, and a jump forward. That should be good for about 8, maybe 9. Looks like they're giving them 9.
Tackled by number 4.
Let's see.
Nice job by the offensive line there. Pretty big hole on the right side.
Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd and 2, Hilltoppers.
Yeah, 8 yards on the carry, 2nd and 2.
Here you go.
Hand it off. Spun around.
Get enough to move him again.
Looks
so.
like forward progress. Should have. The line judge on this side looks like.
Yeah, it looks
I don't
like
think
he gave him enough, doesn't it? Isn't that stick short of the, what is that, the 30-yard line? Oh, he's short.
Wow.
It looked like, I thought
I thought he spun
I
up.
thought the line judge on our side was
Yeah, he
in
was
front
over.
of the 30.
He
like,
was, yeah.
But they spotted it on the other side of the 30.
Can we get a measurement on that?
Again, no, just don't go backwards, right? You got 2 chances here to pick up half a yard.
I thought he spun across the. I thought he spun across the line.
There you go, sneak it.
Yep. That's a first down.
That's it. Durfee coming to life a little bit here.
Strong the ball carrier. He has enough for a Hilltoppers.
All right, there you go. It's official. Chains will move. Oh, Attleboro's ready for that time. All right, so now you've seen that same play about 4 or 5 times in a row. Now time to change it up a little bit. They were ready for it. But there was contact almost as the ball was still leaving the QB's hand there. So
We'll come back to it. That's a tough play to defend. You're putting that defensive player in the bind, right? If he tackles the ball carrier, the quarterback's going to pull it. If he goes with the quarterback's going to give it.
right.
That time, there was, I don't know, too much going on.
2nd and 10. No gain on the play. 90 seconds to play in the first. Strong with some time down the field.
Had him.
He had him, just overthrew it a little bit. That would have been good for 6. Incomplete.
It was a good route. Eric Lucas.
Third down and long for the Hilltoppers.
He got open. Good job up front, too. It looked like Strong had a decent pocket to step up and make a throw. Just overshot him.
See, for me now, I'd almost like to see them try to go back to that play. 'Cause you need 10 yards anyway.
Little counter. Here you go. Broke a tackle. Oh, he fumbled.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yep.
man. That's a little deflating.
Let's not talk about deflation in footballs, shall we? Oh, man. Well, first turnover of the game. And the Hilltoppers fumble the ball. And Attleboro will take back over. They'll start from their own 25-yard line.
Got to get a stop here. Oh, he pushed him in the back.
There was also a hold.
Yeah, it's coming back. There's all kinds of flags all over the place.
Flags coming in from up the field, from behind.
Well, that one was blatant right in front of us, but I think he's got a whole – I don't know if the two that are in the backfield are on the same guy, but that was a pretty blatant block in the back there, and then one downfield too.
Yeah.
Multiple flags on the play.
That's all right. Catch a break here now. So 1st and 20. You gotta put together a defensive stand here.
Our head official discussing with all the officials that threw the flags.
Is one of the flags against Durfee? Is that what they're talking about? I don't know what it would be against Durfee downfield, or was somebody lined up off sides?
I can tell you I saw one of Durfee's defenders, like, literally really tugging on a jersey, almost very close to the collar. There were already flags down at that point, so I don't know. You know what I mean?
Talked about that extra minute added time. This is a long first quarter.
Yeah, really.
Holy hell.
We're not even through it. All right, let's see if we. Here we go.
You don't have a mic on this guy, Ev?
No, of course. No. Block in the back on the offense. So, B, you called that. That's declined. So that means there's going to be another one on the.
Oh, ineligible downfield.
That's declined. Oh, boy. Okay, so holding.
So I think I got it, Ev. The one downfield is the one they declined because it would have been a spot foul in Durfee's territory. So you decline that one. But then you decline the ineligible downfield because maybe that's 10 and is the block in the back 15, or those two might just be a toss-up. But I'm guessing the first one that was declined
Right.
was because that flag was 30 yards downfield.
But there was also a personal foul on the Hilltoppers, too. He called that on the defense.
I missed that one.
Yeah, just now. So
those offset, and they're just do a redo? It looks like from the spot now, they marked off 10 for the hold and then 15 against
coming
Durfee.
back.
So it's a net gain of 5 for Attleboro. Is that how that worked?
I got to get out the calculator, B. Wow.
I think that's what they did, though.
Yeah,
like,
that's
based
what
on the spot of the ball, that's what it
Mhm.
looks like.
That's what it looks like.
Because they called the block in the back was right around the 30
Right.
or maybe the 25, say. You back it up to the 15, and then you tack on 15 for whatever somebody did from Durfee, personal foul.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Now I'm getting this weird, like, reverb going on here in my channel. We'll mess with it at halftime, whenever that is.
So instead of 1st and 20, you get 1st and 5.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the personal foul was. I mean, it was a huge gain for Attleboro, and the personal foul was in the backfield, I think. So I don't know
Did
where
they
that
hit the
comes
quarterback
from.
late? I mean, we were already looking down the field.
Maybe.
Maybe they was hitting the QB. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't looking at the
He's
backfield
going
at that.
one-on-one, and this
Yeah.
guy.
Pickett.
Oh.
Well, he deflected it. Good coverage there. Good coverage. That looks like number 3 there, Jaden Hote.
I think it's Hewitt.
Hewitt, excuse me. Thank you.
Long line of Hewitts that have played
Yeah.
football, and
It's been a year since we've done football, so.
I didn't mean to correct you.
No, please. It's opening night for me, too, so, you know.
I just know in speaking with
No, I
Coach
know.
Brown and Coach Powers, they like Jaden Hewitt a lot.
Yeah.
He named him a captain, so
Yeah, no, that's
that's the
awesome.
only reason why I know his
And he covered that play well. Defended it well. So 2nd down and 5.
option.
Option is right. Toss back.
This kid's tough, 7.
Yep, Rivera. Out of bounds, but that will move the chains. So a 1st down for the Blue Bombardiers.
Rivera, the ball carrier, brought down by number 2, Strong.
Little no huddle here from Attleboro.
1st and 10, Blue Bombardiers at their own 40-yard line.
Which, as we talked about, is impressive week 1 to be able to go no huddle a couple weeks into the season. Or after a couple weeks of camp, I should say. Another flag.
Yeah, flag in the back.
Harvey's pass to Rivera.
Chop block.
There is a flag on the play.
I think that might be a loss of down, too, isn't it? It looked like the official was explaining to number 56 from Attleboro, that's Isaiah Miranda, what he did. So I don't know if it was, if they high-load somebody or.
Yeah, chop block on him.
Chop block on Attleboro.
You showed the 1, though, so I guess they're going to replay the down.
Yeah, I thought it might have been like a grounding where it was loss of down, but I guess not. And it looks like, is that
It's
15?
So is it 15 or is it a spot? Because it was thrown in the backfield. So
Oh.
it could have been a spot in 10.
No, I think it's 15, though,
Is it
because that's on the
15?
40. And
So
they bring
big,
everybody in tight here.
yeah, big loss here for Attleboro. 1st and 25.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Runs into a wall. And with 15 seconds, that might be just the last play of this very long 1st quarter. Over 30 minutes real time. My goodness. Fans getting their money's worth tonight.
Well, I think overall, I mean, after the first 2, I mean, they got 2 quick scores, but
Right.
you're looking for a little bit of Attleboro shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here on this drive with the penalty on that long screen where there was all kinds of flags. Then the chop block now puts them way behind the sticks. So giving Durfee a little bit of life here is to be able to get a stop. I mean, it's 15-0, but it's 2 scores. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's all it is. So you get a stop here. You're right in the game, and there's plenty of football to be played.
You know, for me, when you consider how many plays were on the ground in that 1st quarter, and Durfee had the ball, that drive, they had it for, for a good chunk of time. It's kind of interesting that Brad just came in, said the same thing we were saying. What a long first quarter.
A lot of penalties.
I know, there
couple
was
touchdowns, quick touchdowns.
Stoppages of the clock despite a lot of play right in the middle of the pocket, middle of the field. So you'd think that, the time would have run off a little faster. It didn't. But nonetheless,
It's great, though. We got nowhere to be.
Right. So done with one here. Evan Massoud and BJ McDonald with you for live football coverage of week 1 of the high school football season. Just a beautiful night. I love this time of year because, from March until August, we're essentially doing baseball and softball. Screen play.
Uh-oh.
Some running room.
There you go. That's
nice
good
job to wrap them up. That'll put them 12 yards or so short of the line to gain on third down. Fall sports for me, I know it means, summer break is over, but fall sports is always a welcome sight. I don't want to see another baseball diamond for 6 months, let me tell you. Not that, we didn't
You
see.
talk about long games. At least there's a clock here. You go to a baseball game, you can sit there all day.
I'll be honest with you. The games we covered for baseball were actually really quick-moving games. And we saw some really good action. Deep down the field, has his man, but he overthrew him. Just a stride too far.
Oh, no, he late hit. Oh, no.
There's the flag, and you're right. I think we're going to be seeing the flag go against Durfee here.
And so instead of getting the ball back, you give him a first down at midfield.
Yep.
Ay, ay, ay.
The mental mistakes, the penalties. We talked about it pregame. It's only week 1, but that's a killer. You finally got the stop, right? 15 yards. They needed 12.
And it's just, for what? The ball was, I didn't see it. I was watching the ball, but it seems clear as day. There was no argument from the Hilltopper coaching staff. They seemed to be upset with the kid on the sidelines rather than the official. So in those cases,
Yeah, you shouldn't hit him. Absolutely.
And now here we go.
Still on his feet. Another flag coming in.
Two
flags coming. Do you have anywhere to be? I know you said you have nowhere to be, but we may be here a while.
Well, my wife is due with our second child next week. You think we'll be out of here by then?
That's right. You did tell me that. Congratulations in advance. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Face mask. Is that was both flags were? Oh, boy.
Now the 15.
Killer. That roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah. So that's 3 personal fouls already.
Yeah, and those are stupid, right?
That's already well over 50, close to 100 yards of penalties already. So now deep into Durfee territory are the Blue Bombardiers at the 25. They've gotten the last 30 yards on penalties. Hurling it up, down towards the end zone. Caught, up the ladder. All too easy for number 5. That's Aiden Ramirez.
6'2", 165, going up against Eric Lucas and Keith Strong back there at 5'8" and 5'9" or so. Tough, throw it up like a basketball, go up and get the rebound. That's the second time we've seen that on where the quarterback, he's got faith in his guys there. Harvey, the quarterback, throwing it up and letting him go get it, and they've done just that.
Well, when you have that height advantage, you take advantage of it. You'd be silly not to. Kick on the way, looks good. is good, 22-0.
And that hurts because you should have had the ball back. You had 4th and
Absolutely.
12.
Moon coming up over Durfee High School. We can't see it from down here, but Mike getting some shots for us. We saw great shots of the Moon coming up over the Watuppa yesterday at Diamond. Because you could see the horizon from there.
Cool.
It was wild.
They got new turf over there, didn't they? Or not yet?
No, so new meaning less than 5 years old. They redid that field because
Okay.
they were playing here when you guys were away. When you were coaching,
Okay.
they were playing here, and but they put in real grass, not artificial,
Nice.
because they were just starting at the time the processes with the MSBA for a new diamond
Got it.
and studies, and they said we don't want to put in this multi-million-dollar stadium because if we build, the school's going to go down there. But I will tell you that in going there yesterday and walking on that field, that grounds crew deserves all the credit in the world. That
Do
field
they have
is
an
gorgeous.
agricultural program type over there as a part of their vocational curriculum? Is there?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I really don't know. I mean, I know, we have the greenhouse, and we have some,
Because that would be a
some
cool
of that stuff here.
project too, right?
It
to
would.
be able to take care of the field or
Yeah.
something as a student, to be a part of the. I know I went to UMass and they had a great
right.
agricultural program. Forget the name. Stockbridge School up at UMass.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
had a few friends there that went on to become grounds crew members at different major league parks and
that's
you
awesome.
know, work for golf courses and things like that. So things you don't really think of, probably as a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. But
I mean, when you consider the drought that we've had this summer, that field is pristine. It was really, it was in fantastic shape.
that's how it used to be here, too.
I know.
It was great.
But, you get that one rainstorm that happens during a game, and it just becomes a muddy mess.
Yeah, it doesn't have any time to rejuvenate once the season gets going, right?
Yeah.
You're on it every day. And I don't know what Diamond has for practice facilities, but that was part of the issue always here. Was
Yeah. Well,
if you use the game field for a couple hours every day, there's no chance for the grass to come back.
yeah, so what they do, football, when there's other sports, and that's usually during the week, football ends up on the baseball field, and that's their practice facility because they don't use baseball until the spring. So they utilize that part of the complex. So they're usually up there. Look at the moon. The moon's coming up now over the over Durfee, over the main entrance there.
We've got Keith Strong, the Durfee's third series on offense under center. So hopefully we can put something together here. Had a nice little drive going
I know, right?
on the last possession. Oh, no.
To the 10, to the 5, and in. McKenna takes it back for 6.
Well,
It's been a while since we've been on the losing end or the bad side of one of these kinds of blowouts in the first half. Attleboro putting it to the Hilltoppers here.
well,
on
the
opening
Durfee
night.
schedule has come a long way
Yeah.
in the last, 3, 4, 5 years. I think, what is this, Taylor's 10th year? I mean, when he took over, the program was struggling. I mean, they had lost to Conley. They had lost to,
Right.
playing divisions 4, 5, 6 every week. Attleboro has consistently been a solid Division I program. I think, I mean, high school realignment is about as tricky as college realignment. I don't know what league they're in now. Historically, they were always in the Hockomock League, which is historically one of the best high school football leagues in Massachusetts, and they're always super competitive. So, I mean, you kind of had to know coming in that this is a tough matchup against a tough Division I team.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of young guys that haven't played, and, you started behind the 8 ball with a couple touchdowns right off the bat, 2-point conversion, and when it starts going bad sometimes, it's tough to stop the train,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you mentioned about the Hawk. You're right. They are still in the Hawk-a-Mock. So they got Franklin, they got King Philip, Milford, North Attleboro, Taunton. That's in the Kelly Rex division. That's where they are, or conference. And then the Davenport side is Canton, Foxborough, Mansfield, Oliver, Ames, and Stoughton.
Yeah, so I bet if you went on, I bet if you looked in the Boston Herald or the Boston Globe, you probably got half a dozen to a dozen teams in the mix, and probably the top 25 of the state.
Absolutely.
Out of that league. You know, you've got Mansfield is always good, King Philip, Foxborough. I mean, those are powerhouse Massachusetts high school football programs.
Yeah.
You know, and at least on the public side,
Oh yeah.
the Catholics are a whole different animal, but consistently those teams are always good. For the past 50 years, you can go back and they're always going to be very good.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when we talked about last year how offensive we expected Durfee to be, I know that I shared your surprise when we found out that this game last year was a 10-7 game that Attleboro won on a field goal at the end of it. I don't think anybody expected it to be that close of a game in terms of, like, you know, low scoring and more of a defensive game. So this, you know, more offense. I mean, obviously not 28-0, but I expected to see offense like this from both sides last year at that game, which we didn't go to, of course. It was on the road, but just in reading about it and, you know, understanding what went on in the game, it was very surprising.
Another flag coming in late.
Salviati's kick returned by Lucas. There is a flag on the play.
That flag came in really late from the guy way on the far side of the field. See, that's crazy to me. That's like a crazy, crazy call. It came in way late. The
Yep.
kid was already, I don't know who it was on, but it just seems insane
Right.
that flag came in.
No, and that's, you
But
know,
Mr. Official, we know you're here.
one of the one of the things that I've come to like about, you know, doing a college game is the officials are mic'd, just like the pros. So there's another flag. When there is a flag, you know who it's on, you know what the call was. Here at the high school level, they don't do that. I mean, we don't have a PA system or the means for that anyway right now. But,
Sure.
But in general, I think that should be a requirement. Let people know what the heck is going on, especially when you have a game like this where we've seen almost 20 flags, I'd say, at this point.
Sometimes, like that flag in particular, I didn't see it, but the kid was down. It wasn't like he broke it.
Yeah.
Let him play. Why do you need, like, what, do you got an illegal formation here now too? Offside. Somebody's lined up offsides. So it seems to be, I mean, it's pretty equal, I would say, as far as penalties go on both sides. But sometimes I feel like you just want the referees to keep the flags in their pocket unless it's given somebody a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
And that's the thing on that one. The kid was down. He had no,
Right.
I mean, I guess if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. But I don't know. In a 28-0 game at this point,
Yeah.
where it wasn't like he was going, he was down.
Yeah, absolutely. Short gain there on first down.
I'll
We finally
stop
got.
complaining.
That's all right. Well, you know, the ref situation is, you know, kind of a dire one. The schools have been asked, and that's why we have a Saturday game at the end of the season. And there's other sports as well here at Durfee playing Saturday games. In fact, boys soccer is playing tomorrow. There's a shortage of refs.
Well, nobody wants to. Who wants to do it?
Right, that's
thankless.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's true. I mean, you know, everybody can sit here and criticize.
Yeah, I know, and I don't mean to criticize,
No.
but you can when they're getting paid, you can criticize a little bit.
Well,
they're not volunteering.
Yeah, I know. The bottom line, though, is that you're right. Nobody wants to do it, and they're tired of. I mean,
No,
yeah,
I
we're trying to
can't
be
blame them.
trying to be analytical and fair about it. But the jeering and the stuff you hear from the crowd sometimes is like,
Yeah,
I
the
can
crowd,
remember.
the coaches, sure.
I can remember when I used to film and do more of the highlights and not do this stuff. we got the headset on. We can pretty much just hear ourselves. But standing on the roof when you'd be filming, I'd have to make notes as to, like, when I'd hear stuff, make sure I'm muting the audio if we're using a clip or something, because, I mean, there was some really not so nice stuff that you'd hear from the crowd. And, everybody hears it. The players hear it.
Sure.
The coaches hear it. And the officials hear it. And, because of the shortage, schools are being asked to play on Saturdays because they can't staff every game on a Friday night. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I believe it. And I see it in my my professional career, too.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go and everybody you talk to, they're looking for people to work and do different things. And there seems to be a shortage of workers everywhere.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's certainly not just high school officiating, but it is not an easy job. That's for sure. One of them I will say, for soccer, it amazes me that they still have only 2 officials on a field. Soccer is the largest surface you're playing on all year for any sport at the high school level, and you only have 2 officials. To me, that's not enough.
Sure.
It's not enough. It's not enough eyes on what's going on.
Right.
But then, for a volleyball playoff match, you get 4.
Well,
on a court. But
well,
you need it. You need the judges. You need
I
the
guess
lines.
volleyball, maybe that's a little bit different. But I think, if I remember correctly, when I was in school, in the state tournament in basketball, they went from 2 officials to 3.
Yes.
And it's an adjustment for the officials. So I think 2 officials, at least in hoop, is enough. I don't think you need the 3rd one. And if you need the 3rd one, you got to have it all year, because then you get into a playoff game and they're blowing the whistle every 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, you're right. But I think for soccer, I mean, to me, it's too much open space. I'm very surprised that they don't have a 3rd for soccer. And that's, it's just an observation, of course. I mean,
there's another 5-yarder against Attleboro.
You still following the Red Sox at all?
No.
I know I'm not. The broadcast is stale. They don't want to spend the money. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. But I will tell you this, live update. Bogarts just hit a homer, so they're actually up 2-0 for now over Baltimore.
But they're not even close to being in the mix.
Oh
for a
no,
playoff
this
spot,
is
right?
no. This is they're padding individual stats right now. It's really a shame. They can't beat anybody worth beating, except the Yankees. I think they won 2 series against them this year. I think that's it. But everybody else in the division, it's like they lost every game at Tropicana Field this year.
Uh-oh, look at this.
Hello. Oh, he lost it. That should have been 6. In and out. Andre Turner's going to wish he could have that one back. That was a beautiful pass.
Nice throw, right on the money, too.
Yeah, Harvey. Line drive over everybody and right into the basket.
Attleboro still get their foot on the gas with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Up 28-0, going way down the field on first down.
Yeah.
They're not letting up.
No, they're not. And you know what?
They don't have to.
They don't have to. And why not? It's opening night. If you're a coach, you got to see what you got. It's the first week. If things are going well, run it. Keep going. I mean, you don't want to run up the score, but you got to know what you have. This is the first live action, really true game action you're seeing. How do you know what you have otherwise?
All right, 3rd and 10. Let's get off the field.
Never mind off the field. How about just, no yellow flags coming in? A clean 3rd down play here.
3rd down and 11.
Harvey dropping back, passing to the near side. That is incomplete.
Good job there, Jack Souza.
Wrapped him up.
Saw that play coming, read that. There's a big stop now, 4th down. Let's try to get one before the half.
Seriously. It looks like, are they going to punt? They have the kicker back there.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, 4th and 12. Durfee hasn't really done much of anything offensively. Why give him the ball at midfield if you can pin him back a little bit?
Yeah.
I don't even know if Durfee has enough guys on the field.
Timeout.
Yeah, they were a little discombobulated. But at least, hey, regroup. Keep an eye out for a fake, something funky. You never know, right? It's opening night. They might have a trick up their sleeve. 4th and 12, 28-0. They got nothing to lose. But stay off the kicker. Don't give them a free one on that either.
Yeah, right. No contact. All right, out of the timeout. 4th down and 11. Punter is out there for Attleboro. See if they do kick it away. He does. That's number 22, Ethan Lako.
Just let it go. Hopefully,
He's not going to get there. Pinned him. You're right. Down to the 10. So Durfee will have a long field, 6:24 to play in the first half.
let's put something together here.
Well, Durfee kicked off, so they also will get the ball to start the third quarter.
So you're saying we're not dead, right? Put one in here, drive the length of the field, get the ball to start the third quarter.
Well, you're not dead till the final buzzer, but I mean, you got to get some kind of rhythm going. And I really thought, even though things were slow to develop, I thought they had something going when it was 15-0, and then you had the fumble, and things have really not gone well since that point. Oh, no,
that's not good.
No, and you got somebody hobbling right now. 87 there. That's Andrew Sanabria coming off the. We'll check in with our new strength and conditioning coach there, Cabrini Gonzalez. Ed Matenas, who was here for 2 years, did not return this year, and position, though, a much needed and I think a very undervalued position. So I'm glad that that position has remained and it was filled quickly. Because, we talk about, our trainer, Kelly Mahoney, in a sense, but from a training standpoint, she's more the medic. It's listed as a trainer, but we were talking about this preseason with her. She's more of the medic. She tends to the injuries. But when you talk about strength and conditioning, that's your trainer. That's your, to get you ready. So, I really think that's a big role.
I think it's great. The coaches used to be the ones who always had to man the weight room and, in the off season. And, I mean, that's a difficult thing to ask people to volunteer. So it's great that, the school department was able to find the money to be able to pay somebody to do that full time, because I do think it's super important. I mean, look at the size difference. Attleboro's got some big kids over there. I know Durfee's young, but, it's eye-opening when you start playing against other bigger schools, how much bigger and stronger some of these kids are.
And I'll be honest with you, injuries are down. And at the very least, if they – I was going to say, that's best.
Bailing us out?
Yeah, he was leaning on him. Injuries are down. And any injuries that we've seen, it seems like the return to play has been faster. And I really think that's a direct result of having that position.
And I think there's an old saying too, right? Hurt or injured. Are you hurt or are you injured? Like, does something when you're playing football, you're going to be hurt a lot of times. Things are going to hurt.
Yeah.
But if when you're injured, all right, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But if something hurts, okay, like, can we stretch it out? Is there something we can do to get you back on the field?
Exactly.
Is it tolerable where you can play through it, or is it no? I'm injured and I need to see a doctor.
Yeah. No, 100%. And again, I think that's where, the value of that position. So, kudos to Brad Buss and the athletic department. I'm glad that they advocated for that position. And I'm glad that it was filled rather quickly.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he was here all summer, right?
Yeah.
Working out with the kids. I mean, that's awesome.
As far as I know.
It's awesome. You got a brand new weight room and beautiful facility in there.
Yeah.
It deserves to be used, heavily. That's what it's there for. And having somebody in there that knows what they're doing and that can put kids, depending on their sport and their skill set, on specific programs and working through certain exercises, I think it's a great addition.
When I came here the week before school started to do a preview on the soccer teams, Cabrini was he was with the boys soccer team getting them warmed up because they were going to they had a scrimmage, so they were doing like a very light stretch and practice before Conley walked over to do a scrimmage here. And they did full stretches and all kinds of different like formations and warm-ups with him out on the field. He was showing them techniques right out on the field while the coaches were kind of prepping for the scrimmage. So he kind of took over the team, which I thought that was great.
It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. Is that down marker, right? It's 4th down now?
Yeah.
Already?
Already? Yeah, I know. 4th and 1. Or 4th and 2. A little longer than 1 there. And they're going to have to kick it.
Just make sure we cover this up and not.
Well, I'll tell you, they were special teams there. It's kicking. Is that Mendez? You would put kicker on 15. He's the punter, right?
Yeah, for Attleboro?
No, for us.
For us?
Number
Yeah,
15.
I think so.
Yeah. So he was really, he's getting good. This one, distance-wise, a little less. He's definitely getting good hang time on the ball. During warm-ups, he was getting some decent distance. That one there didn't go quite as far as some of the ones in warm-up, but definitely gets good elevation if the trajectory can get just a little lower and not so much of a pop-up. He's got a good leg, that's for sure. But Attleboro will start on Durfee's side of the field here. In fact, inside the 40. Just under 4 minutes to go in the half.
Well, they've gone up top on 1st down a couple times here, so if I'm the defensive backs, maybe give them a little bit, let them catch it in front of you, and not go over the top again here.
Right.
But they're singled up on the backside with trips this way. And what do I know? They hand it off. That kid runs hard, though. 7. He's a tough kid. Adrian Rivera.
Rivera, the ball carrier.
Well, as we near the halftime, we invite you to stick around. The marching band will have their first performance of the year, and so we're looking forward to that. So we will keep it here live for the marching band. Flag coming in.
Guy's going to break a record back there if throwing that flag in.
Rivera, the ball carrier. There's a flag on the play.
At the back judge. He's been firing them in all night.
Holding on the offense. Backing up.
Well, I guess a moral victory here is keeping them out of the end zone to end the half.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
2nd and 6 after the penalty. Room on this side. It's good for a first down, good for more. Refusing to go down is Rivera.
Tough kid.
Rivera, the ball carrier.
He's only listed at 5'7", 147, but, I mean,
He looks
seems tough.
Yeah, he looks bigger than that, too. Out on at least, I mean, his teammates are big. He looks bigger, though, on the field than that. So another first down.
Huddle.
Well, we're running out of time, so. Oh, bad snap. Able to regroup. Harvey going to get swarmed. Goes out of bounds. That,
No.
I was gonna say, is that late hit? Sure, there it is.
That was close. I don't know. I can't see the
He was out of bounds.
sideline
He
there,
was
but-
out of bounds. I said, uh-oh, are they going to get away with it? And then here came the flag.
Salviati, the ball carrier.
It was a late hit.
Flag on the play.
Not only does Durfee have more penalty yards than yards, they might have double or triple the amount of penalty yards
Yeah.
as yards they have offensively.
I know.
They've got to have over 100 yards in penalties.
Oh, easily.
And I think they've only got maybe 1 or 2 first downs on that drive there.
Yeah.
And
No,
one of
that's
them was
rough.
from a pass interference penalty. They haven't been able to do much on offense, and they've had a tough time stopping them on defense. It's been a tough first half.
So it becomes 2nd down and 2. Fake the handoff. Harvey to the end zone. Backside, incomplete. Looks like they were going for Aiden Pantangas. Third down. So you're wondering why that actually, that late hit came behind the line. So that's why they didn't get the first down out of it. They only got the 10 yards. And so it didn't get them to the line to gain.
Well, I'd imagine they got 2 shots at it here. I don't know. The kid's been kicking the ball well in the PAT, so maybe you give him a shot to kick it if they don't get the first down. I don't know. With the score 28-0, I mean, it might not be. You never know when you're going to need a field goal down the road, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Handoff.
But you got to stop them before
Corner
that becomes
of
an issue.
the field. Diving in.
Another flag, though. I think there's a hold or a block in the back is what it looks like. It came in from this near side official.
Play go for ball carrier. There was a flag on the play.
But as good as Attleboro's offense has looked, they've had to have over 100 yards in penalties, too. I mean,
Oh, yeah. The flags have been out of control. Too much. Holding on the
hold.
offense. There you go. 10 yards back.
We'll take it.
We will replay 3rd down. .148 to play here in the half.
All right, well, 3rd and 12. Let's get one more stop here. Probably going to go up top, right?
I would think so.
Kid throws the ball well.
He does, and they got nothing to lose. Harvey, a junior. Scrambles well. I mean, he really shows good composure.
Picked off.
That's picked off, absolutely. In the end zone.
Who's that? Number 3, Jaden Hewitt.
So that's a touchback.
Intercepted by number 3, Jaden Howe.
And with 1:38, Durfee will go back on offense.
All right, let's see if we can put something together here.
Keep saying that sooner or later.
All right, sooner or later, right? See if we can put something together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dig into the bag of tricks. I thought we were going to see Eli Chase under center a little bit, but we haven't yet.
No, I know. That's kind of.
Last week they kind of switched off a little bit.
I know you were kind of expecting it after having the opportunity to talk with the coaches on the field while I was prepping in here in the booth, and but obviously they're sticking with Keys for now. With KJ running the ball on 1st down. Short gain, maybe just a yard out of it.
Selecting the ball carrier. Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9.
That keeps the clock rolling. So looks like they'll just try to run a few plays here, get a little comfortable, and then knowing they're getting the ball back.
Yeah, and you don't want to give up a cheap one before the half either.
Exactly.
You're down 4 scores.
60 seconds left here in the first half. 24 minutes of game time has spanned over an hour and 10 minutes. That's crazy. We haven't had a game this long, like the first half this long, in a very long time.
Well, this is the most penalties I've seen in a game in a long time, too. Huh?
True. Yeah, it's
3rd and 1.
Third and 1 after 8 yards on the carry. They'll hand it off, and that should be good. Yeah, more than enough for a first down.
Celeste in the ball carrier, tackled by number 22, Ethan. First and 10, Hilltop.
Maybe the last play of the half here.
Yeah, they're not rushing to the line, so 20 seconds.
Go in, regroup.
And with 10 seconds, that's going to lead us to the half. I don't think there's any timeouts. No, heading to the locker room, coach putting up the signal. So at the half, a tough first half of football here in fall 2022 for the Hilltoppers. They're down 28-0, the hands of the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers. And, you know, B, I think really the biggest thing you're seeing here is, you know, the experience or lack of. You know, for Durfee's side, again, a young team, a lot of graduates in the spring. So some rebuilding, of course, whereas on the other side, Attleboro with a huge roster. And you look up and down their lineup, lots of seniors, lots of juniors, so players that have been around. So
Sure, and they've got a lot of guys. They're bigger up front. They look stronger, faster. Durfee does seem to be overmatched, I would say, probably physically.
Yeah.
You know, up front in the backs. I mean, Attleboro point blank looks like a better football team, a better high school football team. But with that being said, you know, at halftime is where you learn now in the second half a little bit about the character of these Durfee kids.
Sure.
You know, are you going to come back and battle against a team that's probably going to beat you 9 times out of 10, where you got to play a perfect game and they got to, you know, not play a perfect game in order to beat them? They came out guns blazing, you know, 15-0 before you could blink, and you find yourself behind the 8 ball. So, you know, we talked about it in the pregame. It's the first time they've had a quarterback other than Isaiah Thomas playing for them in the last 4 years. You know, there's a lot of new guys and a lot of new positions, and Attleboro is a good football team. I mean, they're a good program. It's head coach Jim Winters. He came over from Silver Lake. It's his first year in Attleboro, but I mean, they've been a machine for a long time. They've always been very good. They're going to continue to be very good. And, you know, that's what Durfee is aspiring to be, to have 100 guys on the roster.
Yeah.
You know, have 100 guys dressed and traveling to an away game on a Friday night. I mean, that's what you're aspiring to be. And down 28-0, you can roll over and die and lose 56-0, or you can battle here in the second half, show a little bit of grit, and see what happens.
Well said, B. All right, we're going to step aside, take a quick break as the band gets set up here. As everybody knows, some changes to the traffic patterns in the complex and whatnot, and Principal Matt Damaris asked us to help him out and get the word out about that, because there still seems to be a little bit of confusion here and there, so after just a week. So take a look at this important message from Principal Matt Damaris. We will be back with the halftime show, the Durfee Marching Band, right after this. Live coverage continues. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Matt Damaris, principal of BMC Durfee High School. We put together this video to show all the changes that are going on to the exterior of our building in terms of traffic. We know that traffic was a big issue last year because we only had one way in and one way out to our campus, Ellsbury Street. The goal of these changes is to take as much pressure off Ellsbury Street as possible. When you come back to school, the first change you'll notice is as you turn off of President Avenue to Ellsbury Street, there will be 2 turning lanes in either direction onto Ellsbury. The city will be striping Ellsbury Street to have 1 lane traveling north straight through to BCC, and the left lane will be the turning lane onto Durfee's campus. A change that you will notice is that we have reversed the traffic pattern in the parking lot immediately adjacent to our field house. So what that means is you can enter the campus taking a left near the Driscoll skating rink across from Dunkin' Donuts onto the campus, and you can drop your student off and then exit near the front of the school. Our traffic pattern in the north parking lot will remain the same. The new additions come by way of our connectivity now to the former West Main parking lot into Wiedemo Street. We're hoping that many families take advantage of this access point by entering the West Main lot via Ray Street, coming down the hill where you can drop your student off near the field house, and then exiting the campus by way of Wiedemo Street. Please refrain from parking on our neighbors' driveways, walkways, in the plaza nearby. I want to encourage all families to be aware that our building is open at 7 a.m. every day. We have breakfast waiting for students. So if you're able to, consider dropping your student off before 7:30, where there will be relatively no traffic at all. If you're trying to arrive exactly on time, classes start at 7:55 a.m. You will certainly experience some traffic and some congestion, and your student will be late to class. So I know that this is going to be a period of adjustment. There'll be some confusion, and as we settle into the new year, I know that getting to and from Durfee High School will be a lot easier than it was last year.
Welcome back to Durfee. The halftime show about to begin, so we leave you with the sights and sounds of the Durfee Hilltopper Marching Band. Be back in about 10 minutes' time with the third quarter. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Laura Ferreira. I am the Director of Traffic and Parking for the City of Fall River. As the school year begins, we want to remind everyone of the school zone safety laws. Crosswalks are here for a reason, your safety. Please use them. Always wait for a crossing guard to stop traffic and escort you safely. Drivers, please use caution when entering a school zone. 20-mile-per-hour speed limits are strictly enforced as mandated by state law. By being respectful and patient with one another, we can all arrive at our destination on time and in one piece. Thank you for your attention. If you have concerns or questions, please contact my office at 508-324-2123. Let's have a wonderful school year.
As adults, we need to model the behavior. We need to take care of one another, and in turn, we will take care of our scholars. I'm a firm believer that if we take care of our adults take care of our students. We all have a piece in that puzzle. Kids will learn when they know that you care about them and that you're going to support them.
Well, every adult has a role to play, whether it's volunteering, working in the schools, working at a program, that they all can provide some sort of support. Really, the message we want to stress with the students, that every day matters, that they matter, and we're here to support them in any way that we can.
We're just trying to make this fun for the kids, trying to amp them up a little bit, get them back into school, because everybody's a little bit nervous always on the first day, they don't know what to expect, so we're trying to ease them into it a little bit.
It takes a village, and not everybody has the same benefits as everybody else. So we like to make sure that kids all know that they're equal and that they all have the same chances in this world.
The safety of the school, the safety of the district rests with all of us. Every single person needs to do their part. We ask parents to make sure they're checking their kids' bags, that they're talking to kids about safety and what they can do to contribute to a safe culture. But this is not a one-sided issue. This belongs to every single person.
Fall River Public Schools has opportunities for positions in multiple areas for people looking to work with the next generation. Come grow with our team. We have openings for teachers, paraprofessionals, and teaching assistants, and other educational support positions available. We are also looking to fill operations support positions such as custodial, security, and food service. We offer competitive salary and benefit plans. We have rewarding work available in our 21st century schools and learning environments. Come grow with us. Please contact the Human Resources Department at 508-675-8420, extension 53708, or see our postings on our website at fallriverschools.org.
Welcome to the Fall River Fire Department. Mass General Law, Chapter 148, Section 12, specifically prohibits the private use of fireworks within the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. One of the issues that we have is we're so close to other states. Rhode Island, we border Rhode Island, we border New Hampshire, and fireworks are legal in those states. So what happens now is we have, on a regular basis, people transporting fireworks back and forth. And there's a fine from $100 to $1,000 and can be up to a year in jail as well. It's dangerous. We've had fireworks that have been used by public display that actually have caused house fires. I know one in particular, it was around Kennedy Park area, where a bottle rocket was shot off and it landed inside a roof window that was open for ventilation, and it caused a fire inside the building. I know that every year the Fall River Fire Department, EMS division, and the fire service responds to multiple calls because of errant explosions. And I can tell you, from being a veteran, I know that some of my brothers in arms, somebody that has PTSD, it can bother them. So again, it's something that's illegal, and it's something that's dangerous, and it's something that can be a bother to other people. So again, in Massachusetts, we ask the citizens, and specifically Fall River, not to use illegal fireworks.
Welcome back, everybody, to Mac Aldridge Field. The band done their halftime show. Evan Massoud and BJ McDonald with you here for opening night. Right before we tossed it to break, we were talking, tough first half, obviously, tough first look here for Durfee in competition. But it's that inexperience. It's that, there's a lot of young blood on this team. And, it's going to take some time. This is not stuff that you don't just turn over, like say 25% of your roster and half your starters and expect that everything's going to be, perfect when you come out first game. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at any level. So I think the best thing, for Durfee, what they can do here is to really capitalize on the fact that they will have the ball to start the second half. And an interesting thing to note is just off screen, if we can tilt down upstairs a little bit on the Durfee sideline, Eli Chase, straight down, is warming up right there. He's been taking some snaps under center with Jaden Fernandez, who's the center right now. So interesting to see. I would imagine seeing that we may see Chase here for the first series of the second half.
Yeah, it looks that way. Maybe you see him under center, and they split KJ out. KJ, he doesn't really leave the field. He's on special teams. He plays defense. So I think whether or not he's under center or split out at receiver, he'll probably be out there. And maybe you see Eli get a few snaps. I mean, you talked a little bit about the Durfee inexperience and the fact that they're young. And while all of that is true, I think we also have to give Attleboro a ton of credit.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
They've got 100 guys on the sidelines. You look at their roster, they've got double numbers because there's not enough numbers. I mean, when you look at the Durfee sideline, you've got half that amount of kids. They're huge up front. They just seem to be bigger, stronger, faster, and Durfee's overmatched. Yeah. So being down 28-0, you've got a chance to roll over and die or show a little bit of heart and battle here in the second half. So hopefully that's the message that was sent at halftime. Hopefully it was received by these kids, and they battle here a little bit in the second half and show a little bit of life.
Well, I'll tell you, last year, only with the 2 wins, that's one thing that Coach said from the start, that, the attitudes from the players, no matter what the score was, no matter what the outcome, no matter what the record was tremendous a year ago. And he did tell me this week, he said that the vibe has been very good and very positive. And so I have to imagine that, if he's saying that coming into week 1, that the kids are buying in. So I would imagine that anything that they had to say at halftime has been,
And that's the old Mike Tyson, right? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Well, Durfee was punched in the mouth in the first half. So now how are they going to respond?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to come back and play and punch back?
You should come back mad.
Right.
You should.
Right.
So.
And, again, like I said earlier, too, 9 times out of 10, Attleboro, based on what we saw in the first half, maybe 99 out of 100, they're going to beat Durfee. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. But can you hang around? Can you play with them here in the second half? Maybe you start seeing some of Attleboro's 2s, and you gain a little bit of confidence going into, is it Somerset next week? And maybe that's a little bit more of a winnable game.
No,
it's not.
Because they're on the road. Next week is Taunton,
which will also be a tough game.
Which is going to be interesting.
There you go. Go ahead. There you go.
Big time run
And
to
there's
the 50.
That's the battle. That's the fighting you want to see. Lensley, I'm going to probably butcher his last name. Celestin, number 20. Lensley, he's a captain, senior captain.
Yeah. Celestin. Yeah. That was a great run. That's
the biggest play of the night there for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah,
What's that, a gain of 15, 20 yards or so?
About that. So Taunton's game was supposed to be on Saturday, this road game, and it's rescheduled to Thursday. Am I seeing there? Oh, wait a minute. Is this JV? No, this is varsity. It says here on the schedule it's rescheduled to Thursday.
Same play.
Same play. So Durfee's next game will be Thursday at 3:30. I don't think that's
No, that's
accurate.
not right. That's going to be a freshman game.
That's not right. So this is clearly.
I thought I had it next Friday. I think I have it here. I have it at Taunton next Friday night, but maybe it was rescheduled. I could be wrong.
No, I think it was. So freshmen are here on Saturday at 4. JV is here. That says Saturday at 4. And then varsity, it says on the road at Stonehill, rescheduled from Saturday to Thursday at 3:30. We'll try to get some confirmation on that. Do we have a turnover? Yep. Come on. Oh, that's got to be frustrating. That's got to be incredibly frustrating. Taken away by the Blue Bombardiers. Coming out of the huddle there was Dan Haste, number 50.
Maybe Taunton's field's not ready. I know that they just put a new turf field in. Maybe they got some issues up there. The
Might be
original
the case.
schedule that I had saved in on my calendar said add Taunton on Friday night, but maybe if they have to use Stonehill's facility. But it seems crazy. Why not just play here instead of playing on a Thursday afternoon? But
True.
maybe this field is being used Friday night. I don't know. That just seems like a weird time to play Thursday afternoon at 3:30 for a varsity.
Right.
And a kind of a quick turnaround to.
Yeah, for a Taunton, seriously. Maybe I'm looking at soccer. I don't think soccer was home on Friday. Let's see again. No, because they have Thursday and Saturday.
I mean, you're looking at a school dismissal and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like whatever.
I don't envy Brad in having to put together a schedule, let me tell you. Down the field, caught! To the 15, to the 5, and in, touchdown. And that is Andre Turner.
Well, we saw that in the first half. That was the same play. They gave him another shot at halftime, said, all right, we're going to come back to that. He dropped to the first one in the first half. That one right on the money and made that one count. Easy pitch and catch.
More points off turnovers. All right, so athletic director Brad Buston is here, and it's what's in the schedule is actually flip-flopped. It says rescheduled from 9:17. It should say rescheduled to 9:17. So Saturday at 3:30 at Stonehill, the Taunton game next week.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
than
that's
Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, so they'll have to make that adjustment. Kick is good, and Attleboro is up 35-0. More points off turnovers. I think that's now what 3 touchdowns off of turnovers directly as a result.
Well, I think it's only one stop too for the Hilltoppers.
Well,
I think
true.
Right, maybe one. What's Attleboro punted once, maybe twice? I don't know.
I think only once.
But again, that was one play right out of the half. They probably said it at halftime. You know, hey Matt, go up top again, back to him. Let's go right back to him. He can run right by the corner, and he did. And here we are, 35-0.
Taken from the 15 or 14-yard line.
Hold that ball.
Spun down across the 35. Eric Lucas.
Do you know, is he a first-year player? He's a basketball player, I know that. I'm not sure if he played last year.
Let me see.
But he seems like a good athlete, and I'm pretty sure he's a basketball player.
Yeah, let's see here. Let me check from my emails from last year. I'm pretty sure from last fall I still have.
He's been on the field a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. Not on the starters. I'm not seeing him on the starters from last, or probables from.
There you go.
Another good run there. First down.
Looked like a broken play at the beginning there.
Yeah. But hey, he made it work. Let's see.
And I think at this point, 35-0, if you can get out of here if you can put 1 or 2 in here in the second half, I think you'd be happy with 1.
Sure.
If you can put 2 in, even better. But if you can hold them here, because I don't know how many, I guess it depends on if Attleboro goes to their backups or not.
True. To answer your question, Eric Lucas was not a varsity starter last year. If he did play, it would have been on JV, and I did not. I don't have him on that. So I don't have him on the varsity roster from the games that we did. So.
Yeah, I think he was a first-year player. I know there was a handful of kids that were out here this summer in the passing leagues and stuff that were basketball players, and I don't know if they all played. I know Eric was one of them, and I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, so forgive me for that.
That's okay.
It's good, I think, when you get guys playing multiple sports. I'm a huge advocate of that.
Of course.
Especially the guys that play basketball. And especially when you look at it from a numbers standpoint, what's the goal? The goal is to get kids to go to college, right? That's what we want to do. We want to get them to graduate and go to college. You look at the number of kids that have gone through the football program in the past few years that are playing college football. Not only are they enrolled in college, but they're a part of a college football team. And when you look at the numbers, there's 100 guys on a college football roster. There's 10 on a college basketball roster.
Right.
I don't know how good any of these kids are at basketball, but strictly from a number standpoint, it seems like you've got a hell of a lot better chance to make a college football team than a college basketball team.
Yeah.
So it always drives me crazy sometimes when.
Oh my.
And it has been that way forever. Well, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all. And while the Hilltoppers had a little falter there on offense, a little issue upstairs with the tripod, so something came loose, so they're tending to it. I know it looks a little jumpy on your screen for a moment here, but
you didn't miss anything there.
No, didn't miss anything yet. So just bear with us a moment, folks. If you guys can zoom out up there while you're fixing it, might make it a little less jumpy. Just kind of go a little bit of a wider shot. And get set for this play. There we go. Running play.
Good hard run.
Yeah, a good chunk of yards there, about 5 yards.
As long as that first half was, it might be that quick of a second half here.
Yeah, well, if they keep running the ball.
Actually,
isn't there a running clock?
At 42 in the third quarter, it's a running clock, and I think at 35 in the fourth quarter is running clock. So we may be out of here, but you may be able to catch the seventh inning stretch of the Sox game. Sweet Caroline.
I know, right? It's still 2-0, I think.
These guys fly around.
They sure do. I'm going to have you take over. I got to run upstairs for a minute here because we got a little technical issue there. So take over for me.
So it'll be 4th down for the Hilltoppers, 4th and 15 or so. 5 minutes and change to go in the third quarter, 35-0 Attleboro. Durfee hasn't got much going here all night. Fair catch called, and bobbled and caught at about the 30-yard line for Attleboro. Attleboro get their second possession of the third quarter here. First possession was about a 65-yard touchdown, one-play drive for the Bombardiers, and looks like they're going to stick with their ones. It's number 3, Matt Harvey at quarterback. He's got a couple touchdown passes on the evening, and the Attleboro offensive line has been dominant from beginning till now, and I'd imagine they're going to try to put one more in here in the third quarter. Trips here to the right, single receiver up top to the left. Handoff goes up the middle. No gain, good job by the Hilltoppers up front, bring up 2nd and 10.
Victorio, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 55, Anthony Correa. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
It's been interesting to watch the plays come in from Attleboro. They don't really seem to huddle. Oh, no, as I say that, they go back in the huddle. But a lot of no huddle. They've looked really good. I'm sure they're going to compete in the Hockomock League. We'll get to see Taunton next week. Another Hockomock League team. Handoff again up the middle. Nice job by Durfee, number 11. Lucas Kudo filling the hole. Just about a 1 or a 2 yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and long for Attleboro.
3rd and long. Maybe they'll get a stop. If they don't get the stop, I'm going back upstairs. You know what's happened? One of the tripod legs, there's like an inner bolt. I think that's what it was. It was a little bit loose. I mean, and this thing is seen so many miles already, and it's pretty new. So it's not, the leg was not locking it. It was just kind of doing one of these like quicksand, just slowly going down on us. So I think we're good.
We're under 4 minutes here in the third quarter, so. Harvey back to pass. I can't tell. It looks like he caught it, though.
It does look like he caught it.
Yep. Nice pitch and catch.
The feet were definitely down, like inbounds. It was whether or not that knee went first, and I don't think it did. And of course, the line judge had a really good look at it there. So
Malachi Jefferson with the catch.
And a first down. You want me to go back up?
This kid's pretty good. The quarterback, he's had a nice game.
He really has. No
that
kidding
was a nice
aside.
throw.
Yeah, all joking aside, really.
Good athlete.
Harvey looks good, and again, he's only a junior. There are, let's see, 3 other QBs on this listed on the roster, all sophomores. But Harvey definitely looks good, and oh wow,
confusion there.
Yeah, very, very much so. And he's still going to get positive yards out of it, at least 2.
Well, at least they're making him work a little bit for this one.
Right.
First possession there, 1 play, touchdown. Those are the ones those are killer. And they had a couple of those in the first half. Quick drives up top.
Yeah, and that's, interestingly enough, that's what was going on for, that's what happened with Durfee in Thanksgiving. They had 3 one-play drives for touchdowns against New Bedford. When was the last time you saw something like that? So on this night, it's the opponent that we're seeing it from. First down. Tackled across the 45. That was taken there by Casey Victorio.
Tackled by Marcano and Montero.
Under 2 minutes, Ev, in the third quarter. I think either way, regardless of whether or not Attleboro scores, I think 35-0 in the fourth quarter is going to be running time. So,
Yeah, we're coming up. We're just under 90 seconds here in the third, much faster quarter as well. Not as many flags, not as many stoppages in play. Oh, big hit, 2 big hits. Still on his feet. That's incredible.
the officials knew they were on TV tonight, so they threw a couple extra flags, got a little FaceTime. We'll talk about them a little bit.
Well, it's only
They didn't want to just
it's only
be
game 1. We got 10 more games to do.
They didn't want to just be wallpaper.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what they say?
Right. Yeah, I know.
If you're just wallpaper, nobody's talking about you.
That's funny.
You got to be here to. Don't forget about me. I'm here.
That's funny.
Gotta throw my yellow flag.
Second and 10 as we roll up on 30 seconds.
Probably the last play of the quarter, 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Ball's at the 43 of the Hilltoppers.
Looks like they probably are mixing in some other guys maybe at receiver and stuff because a little bit longer in the huddle, little confusion, getting some guys some reps here early on.
Yeah, and that's the right thing to do. I mean, you're up by, 5 touchdowns. Harvey rolling out.
It's going to be. Oh, did you pick that off?
I think he hit the ground.
Almost.
Yeah, hit the ground. Almost. 3, 2, and 1. Horn sounds. We're done with 3.
Yeah, I mean, when you got a roster as deep as that, you mentioned it earlier, I think, and I talked to Taylor and Chris Thomas, and last year some of those games that they lost, Durfee was beat up.
Yeah.
And not having the depth. I mean, I said it before, but you look across the field, Attleboro can go 3 deep. It looks like at every position.
Yeah.
Durfee's,
Absolutely.
They probably got double the amount of kids.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So when you're up by 35 in the third quarter, it's nice to get guys that maybe wouldn't typically get reps in the event that some of your guys go down. They're going to be ready to go.
Well, short reset here anytime that the first or third quarter, comes to a close within the 40s. Not much to do to reset because you're basically at midfield. So quick turnaround as we get ready here. The final 12 minutes of week 1. So, B, you were right, our official here in the booth. It is a running clock now for the fourth quarter with the score 35-0. So,
oh, make that tackle.
I know, right? Still a good job, though. Hey, they stood him up.
4th down.
4th down. But this should be a rather fast final quarter here as the fourth is underway. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at Attleboro, who they have coming up. Next week, they will be home, their first home game, and they will host Bishop Feehan. So that ought to be a good one because that's like a Durfee Conley type matchup. You got because Feehan's right down the street. So Attleboro hosts next week. They'll have Bishop Feehan. For Durfee, they travel. And Attleboro's playing Friday night, by the way. Durfee, as we just confirmed, will be at Stonehill to play Taunton on Saturday, the 17th, at 3:30 in the afternoon. Their next home game is going to be here on the 23rd, a Friday night game against Somerset. Next week, Diamond is in town. So, weather permitting, we will have football from Diamond Regional next Friday night. Get to see the Bengals and Coach Barry's team for the first time this season.
I'm just seeing if I can get an update on the Taunton game. They're playing at New Bedford tonight, so that's an interesting matchup for Durfee. A little scoreboard watching to see how those two teams stack up.
Well, actually, the New Bedford cable should be live. I would imagine they're doing the game. Let's see if we can.
The last update I saw here is Taunton 13, New Bedford 0 after the first quarter.
Okay.
That was an hour ago. Eli Chase with another chance here under center. Looks like they'll give them the keys here for the fourth quarter.
New Bedford Cable not live this evening. So Diamond's actually playing. Where are they playing? They're playing Case. They're at Case this week. Next week they're hosting Seekonk for their first home game.
There you go. Get upfield. Good read.
That's a first down. One of the nice things here is that for Diamond and Durfee, they're playing on alternating weeks, at least for the first month or so. So there's no conflict there in games, which is really nice. We always.
Oh, so you get to do Diamond next week and
yeah.
back and forth.
So Diamond's home next week. Then on the 23rd, they're away while we're home. And then on the 30th, Durfee is, let's see. Oh, Durfee's, no, wait a minute. I read that wrong. On the 30th, Diamond's home. Durfee's away again. So.
Who built those schedules? You?
If only I had a say, right? I think the only conflict on the schedule was the 14th of October. Diamond's home and Durfee's home. We'll be here for that one because Dartmouth's in town, and that's a conference game.
And because we're the flagship.
Well.
Right?
Well, that, you know what, too, is that we on the 20th and the 21st of this month, I'm doing 2 games out in Dartmouth with DCTV, but it's the Durfee games out there. So we kind of team up where we can.
Oh, cool.
You know,
so they'll be able to broadcast the Durfee-Dartmouth game out in Dartmouth.
Yeah, so instead of me doing the Dartmouth home games here, DCTV is doing the Durfee road games out there, so they can get some content too.
There's a free 5 yards.
There you go. Because I've been actually calling some games on the side for Dartmouth for the last 8 years now. So we've kind of, now that we're in the same conference, it makes it a little bit easier. And since we have the football game this year, you know, Dartmouth is expecting to be able to, you know, share it as well. So we will definitely be here.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I was just looking. They're playing Stang tonight. It looks like they're in a battle with Stang. It was a close game, 2-point game in the fourth quarter. Third and short. Or are they going to move him? There you go. Move him.
First down.
Be nice to punch one in.
It sure would. And, you know, the offense needs that. I think you need that confidence. You never want to go shut out in your first game. So 7 minutes as the clock continues to roll. The Hilltoppers trying to find the end zone for the first time here this season. They hand off, bounce off the line. And out of bounds goes Romero. Good running play after he bounced off the line. Thought he was going to get stopped, and he bounced outside. He picked up about 9 yards.
There you go, second and short. You get the lefty on the wide side of the field here. I think you take a shot at the end zone. If I were calling plays, that's what I'd be looking for. Some type of play action, waggle or something. You let him roll to the wide side and see if you can get somebody downfield, but I might be wrong. You got double tight and full bone. There you go.
Romero still on his feet. Hard hit. Goes down inside the 10.
Romero, the ball carrier. Tackles on number 15, Jefferson. First and goal, Hilltoppers.
Oh boy. I thought it looked like guys were moving there.
I know, right? That was Lindsley Celestin on the carry. We come up on 5 minutes here.
Got to get 7 here.
Got to get 7. 6 yards away, second and goal. This would do worlds for their confidence. I don't care if Attleboro's made any substitutions or not.
Well, and when everybody else sees the score, it looks a little better, 35-7, 35-8, than,
Yeah.
35-0 or
Look
41-0.
Coming off that wing there, I think that was Hunter Kamara who made that play.
Third down and goal, Hilltoppers.
3rd and goal. Obviously, 2 more tries at this here. 6 yards needed.
But a nice little drive here by the Hilltoppers. 3-4 yards a carry. Couple nice runs. There you go. Get in. Touchdown.
The Hilltoppers on the board for the first time this year, and that was Celestin, who got in a 6-yard run, and Durfee is on the board. That was a nice drive.
Great drive. Everything was positive. No penalties. Everything was going forward. Maybe a little something to build on.
Absolutely. And, you see with that, you kind of see a little bit of, say, the progression of first drive versus, this last drive, or most likely would be the last drive of the game for Durfee. And I think, when Coach looks at the tape, that's one of those things, too. They're going to go for the extra point. We can widen this out a little bit, you guys up there. There we go. Kick on its way through the uprights. That looked good from here. It is good.
No, wide left.
Oh, no, wide left. Excuse me.
It is tough to tell.
He went up kind of like this, and then he went. Okay.
It's tough to tell.
Yeah. They get to, the corners of the end zones. I will say this, and I don't know, and I'm not very much involved in the actual planning for some of the renovations, right, in the facility stuff here, but I would say that if there's anything extensive done here, they really should try to maybe adjust the lighting a little bit to beam in the corners a little bit more.
Yeah, it is kind of strange that there's no lights in, the back of the end zones or anything on either.
Yeah, because, you have, and you see it more from a true wide up on the roof, that at both, 30-yard lines, it's a real bright spot because that's where the lights are, and you have them from both sides converging. But, I think they could bend it out a little bit more. I don't know. Easier said than done.
I just want them to paint the logos and paint the lines on the field.
I know,
so
right?
much to ask, is it?
Well, all in due time, B. All in due time. So, hopefully not long before we end up seeing, new fields here and whatnot.
So the clock doesn't stop, I guess,
No.
even though they scored? Even though it's no longer a 35-point deficit, I guess it doesn't matter.
No. It's like once it starts rolling, it rolls. Loose ball picked up and out of bounds. So 90 seconds here left to play.
Maybe not even. If it's running clock, do they even, I guess they start the play clock, so maybe 1-2 snaps.
Yeah, mostly.
Total.
That's probably about it.
Where's your sister? Where's your sister?
60 seconds. Well, the high school sports week is done for us. So, again, we did boys soccer yesterday to open their season, football tonight. But tomorrow we wrap up the ECFL.
Oh, they don't want us to forget about them. One more flag for the road.
You're killing me. The Troy City Titans home tomorrow for their last home game of the 2022 summer season.
How's their season going?
Not good.
No.
It's been a real tough season. Coach Comer, I've talked with him almost every week, and I have never seen, you talked about the Hilltoppers being kind of, battered and bruised last year with injuries. Nothing like the Titans. I've never seen anything like this. He told me they'd be lucky if they have 20 guys suited up tomorrow. I mean, that's just unheard of. Everyone's banged up. Yeah, it's not a good situation, unfortunately, So they're winless coming into it tomorrow, and they got a tall task against one of the top teams in the league here. So, but I will say it has been a fun summer. You know, we've never really had full live coverage of any games during the summer because the high schools are off. So it was nice having some programming and, you know, covering. They only have 5 home games. 2 of them were in June. So the summer really, it was like, and then now we got one in September. So July and August, they only had 2 home games. You know, so it was good time, and you know, we'll look forward to wrapping up their season tomorrow. 7:30 game time. We will be live. So if you want bonus football, join us tomorrow. B, been a pleasure. It's been good to see. I haven't seen you since the spring, so been great to have you with me. And you know, we'll try to get you on for at least one more this season. And I know again you're expecting number 2, you and your wife. So I hope all goes well with that. And
Thanks,
you know,
thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Appreciate the invite. Love following the Hilltoppers and rooting for them every week. So whenever you need me, I'm here. And hopefully the next time out, things will be a little better, get off on a better foot. But hopefully also kids come back, right?
Yeah.
They want them to battle, facing adversity, playing just a better team. They're more physical. They're stronger, faster, bigger, and just an overall, they're a better team. So sometimes you just got to tip your cap and move on to the next week. And hopefully the Hilltoppers do that and have something to build on.
Absolutely. All right, folks, for our crew this evening, Anthony Granum and Mike Fernandez, I'm Evan Massoud, my broadcast partner, BJ McDonald. Again, we'll be live here tomorrow for ECFL football. We hope to see you then. And next week on Fred TV, more high school sports. Boys soccer, Thursday, 6 o'clock. Brockton comes to town. And hopefully we will have, weather permitting, Diamond football next Friday as they square off against Seekonk, their first home game. Enjoy a good weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight.